Hello, my name is Rosendo, and I'm doing the chapter summary number 8. That's over chapter 13. Chapter 13 is called Law of Property, Real and Personal, and some of the things that I took from the chapter that I'll be discussing are what real property is, interest in real property, restrictions on land use, what personal property is, and global dimensions of property law. First off, the chapter begins by explaining that property is characterized as a bundle of rights, and then real property is land and everything that's permanently attached to it. An individual has rights to property depending on the type of interest that person has in the property. When it comes to the types of interests in real property, there are several different types. Those types include fee simple absolute, conditional estate, life estate, leasehold estate, and then there's something called an easement. Not all interests in land are permanent. We see this is true when we compare some of them to another. For example, a fee simple absolute grants rights to an individual to own and possess land for life, versus a leasehold estate, which only grants the right to possess property for an agreed upon period of time. So that just shows you that not all interests in land are permanent, depending on the type of interest you have. The stake an individual has in land depends on the interest in that land. That takes me right into when an individual is a landowner, there are certain restrictions. There are things called restrictive covenants, and then other restrictions that are called zoning. Those are in place so in order to keep landowners and people that own land from using the land that they own in an unrestricted manner, as well as making sure that they aren't doing anything that could possibly harm the environment or land around them. Just a second ago, I explained what real property is. Now I'll talk about personal property. And what personal property is any property that is not real. So, and personal property can either be intangible or tangible. Tangible property is material and movable objects, while intangible property is not physical. So things like an insurance policy are intangible property, and then things like your clothes or car are tangible. Again, these are just a few of the things that I took from chapter 13, and this was my video summary number 8.